Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here. Welcome back to Your Battle, My Take, as we're here again with SleepySalmon on Haven in domination mode with the North Carolina. He's top tier, no submarines, CV on each team, low tier cruisers overall. So honestly, this is pretty good matchup. There's only one destroyer per team as well. The main threat for him is going to be the Shinanomi. With its deadly torpedo complement. So let's break right into it. And I already have another player who has sent me another video, which will probably happen, I'm guessing, the week following this, where I'll be checking out his battle replay. So in the series so far, our main feature has been SleepySalmon, because he's also a clanmate, so it's just easier to kind of coordinate talk and as he drops his player these battles replays in the Discord. You can do that in the FlimsyLunchTray Discord. Invite link is in the description below. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about, from the 4 battles I've had watching you, SleepySalmon, I'm going to go ahead and say there's 5 things for you to work on. Now, let's say 2 of these things, or there's one that's a main reason for, and it's very natural, as to why you struggle with some of the things that you do. Now, for those of you who don't know, SleepySalmon is moving up the tiers, so he's trying to balance out his destroyer, cruiser, and battleship playing as he ascends to the higher tiers, and he's hit tier 8. So, you know, the last one we did was Lightning, 2 videos on Lightning, and now we have 2 videos on North Carolina. And I argue for newer players in the game that tier 8 is quite harsh coming into, particularly when you're seeing tier 9, tier 10s, and you've got so many gimmicks in the game this day. It makes it a lot difficult for newer players. You know, I think back 3-4 years ago, I think the game was a lot kinder to newer players as they ascended to the higher tiers. Now it's not as kind, and it's a little bit more of a brutal learning curve than in the past. So let me just say, label them number 1 through 5. Again, some of these aren't particularly your fault. It's just you're newer to the game and you're learning. So number 1, lack of experience. Number 2, lack of confidence. Certain times you're too hesitant. Number 3, positioning. Number 4, target priority. And number 5 is a little bit to taking your time with your aiming. Your aiming is not always the best, and it just comes with time, right? It comes with experience being the number 1 thing that I'm going to get at here. So you will see more examples of that last one later into this game. But let's just kind of crack right into it, and we'll hit on each of these 5 things as we go along the way. So as the last replay we did with you, SleepySalmon, on I think it's in the Land of Fire, you're putting yourself in a situation where you're sitting still, and you're sitting about in only getting your forward turrets off and not getting your rear turret into the action as you open up with the first blood and eliminating that cruiser. Great. When you go from tier 8 and specifically you start hitting tier 9, tier 10, this playstyle you're doing right here is going to be brutal to you. And I'll tell you why. It'll be brutal to you because of submarines. It'll be brutal to you because of Dutch airstrikes. And it'll be brutal to you for the more competent enemy destroyers, right? You're not going to be allowed to an extent, sit still. And as I see here on the screen, you're not sitting fully still. You're going forward, you're going reverse. That's good. I'm just saying, particularly as a battleship player, if you're going to be wanting to kind of sit there, go forward, go reverse, go forward, reverse, you need to be in the more kind of an angled out position away from the danger. Because if a submarine pings you, launches 6 torps into you, you're kind of screwed, because you're closing the distance on the torps if you're trying to accelerate towards the torps to turn out and get away, and you're going to eat more damage. Same with Dutch airstrikes. You know, you can try to reverse, you're going to be going really slow, but if you have to go forward to then turn out, like, your moves are going to be very readable by more experienced players in the game, which is going to be the big challenge for you as you go up to the higher tier. So like what you're doing now, You know, you're swinging the ship around to, looks like you're gonna get all 9 406s engaged here. This shot looks like you need to raise it up a little bit. He's kind of going out. Yeah, I think that's gonna land short. Kind of this more engaged out position. The other thing that's not, like, let's say as an example right here, is you're keeping the island between you and the Bismarck and also the cruiser that disengaged. So you're not as further out, let's say on the 2 line, where you could be more punishing to the enemy Bismarck. Now the Shinonami is not on your flank, which kind of gives you free domain here. Not that you want to pick a secondary brawling battle with the Bismarck here, but if you've been a little more further out, like I would have preferred you starting out this game, you would have been positioned out on the 2 line, rather than Bismarck kind of being able to not get shots on him and the other enemy cruiser to disengage and utilize the island against you. So I'm going to be a little more nitpicky. I'm not trying to be critical. I'm just really trying to give you some good advice here. Now you're moving up back towards the cap. To me, it looks like perhaps you're responding to the pressure of there's a cruiser in Bravo somewhere. Now, what I don't like here is this. Why are you slowing down? Okay, your speed back up. Let's see, do you end up slowing down again? You kill so much speed when you do that, and it's almost like you're hesitant to pull out here. I think they're both the cruisers, if I remember correctly. Yeah, you're slowing down again. You're speeding back up. You're like scared to come out, and I don't know why you're scared to come out. Like, this to me gets the lack of confidence, your hesitancy, because as a cruiser sitting in there somewhere, and I'm pretty sure he's further off to your right when I first watched this clip, and you're kind of letting him get away. You're slowing down again. Why are you slowing down? There's no torpedo threat. There's no destroyer knows you're coming around to get torps off onto you. It'd be different, I understand, if there was a destroyer who had seen you disengaging from the Bismarck moving up towards the cap, but you're not. So what ends up happening here is you miss a really big opportunity because of your positioning here. You know, you're looking at a ship 25 kilometers away, and I'm like, oh, why did he shoot? Like, if he gone up a little further forward, Dallas, broadside. Devonshire, broadside, right? There's cruiser. We knew that at least the Dallas was in there, right? So you miss a good opportunity there to maybe get a dev strike or eliminate one of the cruisers off the board. You know, you look like you were looking. You looked like you knew at least one of them was there, and then you decide to opt for a shot that's 24 kilometers away, which hits on the other thing I said at the beginning. Your target priority is questionable at times. But you do well, you know, here now you're engaging with the Devonshire. He killed his speed, so your shots kind of overled him a little bit. Now, what I would do in your situation is rather than have 2 cruisers farming me, I would put the islands between me and the Devonshire, and I'd pick the engagement with the Dallas. You know, Devonshire, I think, has a bigger citadel than the Dallas, but when you have 2 cruisers kind of pecking away on you, it's just better if you can always isolate the engagements on one. Now look, he's reversing. If you would have seen his smoke from his stacks, he was reversing, and you aimed as if he was sitting still, going slightly forward. So take a little more time with your aiming right there, and I think you would have got more damage if you just would have moved your aiming reticle a little further back. So that's one of the big things you can pay attention to what players are doing. If they're going forward reverse, is look to see the direction that the smoke is coming out of. I'm sorry guys, I'm spacing the name of the pipes coming up out of the ship. It's just been a long day. I've had a lot going on. So that will help you. There's actually even a mod you can put from WoW's mod station that tells you if ship's going forward, reverse, or sitting still. I just like to learn more naturally. Now here you're looking at a ship that's 19 kilometers away. Why are you doing that? He's 200 hit points. Trust your team will take him out. Focus on the cruisers that are farming you here, right? So you're still looking away. No, look back, look back, look back. You're looking away again. I think you could have actually got a shot on the Dallas there before he went behind the island. So you're kind of letting the cruisers get away with too much damage on you here. Like, you're not punishing them enough. Because what's fun here is that these tier 6 cruisers aren't actually really respecting you. As in North Carolina, you know, Dallas doesn't have torps. Devonshire does if he gets close enough. And Devonshire sits still, and you punish him basically for sitting still. He may have been slightly reversing. So that was a great salvo. You know, and then now you can actually, I would say, start putting pressure. Start pushing. Go full. You're going half right now. Go full. close the distance. Let North Carolina's 406s kind of home in more sweetly. There you aim again. You aim well there. You're accounting for the fact he's reversing. He kind of maneuvered a little bit away, but I liked your shot placement there. Yeah, go ahead and go full. Push in. You know, yeah, you got to get your other heel going, so it's ready to go. If you have to end up dealing more with the Bismarck, but Bismarck's kind of disengaged here. And your team's climbing the points back, which is great as you guys are beginning to get cap control. Here you you snapshot it. We'll see how that pays off. If he's going full throttle forward, it will be okay. And then again, you're leaving your rear turret out of the action. Why? You know, you would have actually, I think you should have deserved the kill there, right? Yeah, that would have been your second kill. So I don't know why you decided to not engage your rear turret there. Like, you could have still been pushing in, but slightly angled off to your left or your starboard or whatever. No, your port's left. And you got the rear turret off on the Dallas or Devonshire. I remember which one it was, but you would have got the kill right there. Again, I'm questioning your target priority. You're going for Richelieu, like 19 kilometers away. Your speed, you dropped it down again. You know, you could have already maneuvered yourself in a way to avoid the island and keep going full throttle, because now what's happening is the CV is after you, and I don't know if you're aware the CV's interested in you. This is a better target to shoot than the Richelieu, you know. And I see here that you have a 4-point AA skill. I meant to actually look more at the details, but it's makes your cooldown a lot faster. I can put it on the screen here for people to see what exactly all the skill does. So that's an interesting option. I don't remember if you have fire prevention or not. I'm going to assume that you do. North Carolina has decent AA, right? Okay, now here's what I want you to do. I want you to swing out and get all your guns on the CV. Okay, you're going for Colorado again. The CV is gonna. You are the closest ship to. Oh, that's a good salvo though on the Colorado. You are the closest ship to the CV, so he should naturally be more focusing you. I don't know why he went and got the New Orleans, because he knew he could kill New Orleans and get the points, because he's trying to kill off targets. So now I'm gonna say the CVs should solo be focusing you. Again, if you would have already been turning out right, you would have got your rear turret going starboard. You would have already got your left rear turret into the action, and you would have gone to the right of that island there, right? So what I want to encourage you is to be more mindful of your rear turrets when you're playing battleships. So don't. You're cutting out a third of your firepower, a third of your potential to do damage, to have, let's say, bigger games, make more impact. So I'm a little concerned on that. Again, you're killing your speed. I'm not sure why you're killing your speed. When you have a CV focusing you down, you need to be agile. You need to be maneuverable. It makes it more easier to avoid the torps, maybe avoid the rocket strikes. So you're a little bit more of a punching bag again here with the aircraft carrier, the same that you were with the Devonshire and the Dallas here. Okay, now I want you to keep going out right, and I want the rear turret to be involved this time. Okay, I think it's good shot placement. He is going up, he is going out and away from you, so I don't know if you needed to raise the salvo a little bit. Yeah, 1 over pin, I think maybe you need to raise it a little bit. Okay, go to your right. Go out to your starboard. I want the rear turret involved. Get the rear turret involved. Okay, you are prioritizing your A. That's great. I will definitely want to compliment things. You're killing your speed again. Don't be a sitting duck in the cap. That's the CV players love when battleships come to a screeching halt. Not good for you, my friend. So, okay, you got... Oh, no. Okay, get the rear turret. Get the rear turret. Come on, I know you got it in you, Sleepy Salmon. Okay, there you go. I think he probably needed to raise the shot a little bit on that one, but because he's still going out in a way, but maybe it's okay. Okay, you're coming to a stop again here. I mean, now I guess it could be kill secure, but you're just lining up another strike for him on you here. So I think it's okay that you kill your speed here now, so you can get the shots before he goes behind the island. Again, you're leaving your rear turret out of the action. Now you recognize that, and maybe you're gonna go up to your right, so you get the rear turret involved. Yeah. So Yeah, so it's kind of the same thing that I just want to kind of hit on here. Yeah, that it's, lack of experience, lack of confidence, you're a bit hesitant, positioning, target priority, and take time with your aiming. Now, all of those 5 things I'm hitting on, that mainly comes down to your lack of experience, and it only gets better as you keep playing the game. And so, like, that's not I want to be clear in how I say this, as you get the Fireproof Dreadnought and the First Blood. I want to be really clear and say this. It's not like you're a bad player. You're learning. You're willing to send these videos in for me to critique, try to give you some advice. Even we've chatted a little bit in Discord. You're on the right trail, the right track in all this. And everyone starts off with a lack of experience when they do anything new. Whether it's, video games, real life. I did competition archery. I was terrible at competition archery when I first started. I was terrible when I first started playing guitar. I was terrible when I first started playing, it was more difficult even when I started learning to play classical guitar. All these new things, it takes time to learn, and experience is the teacher, right? Experience teaches you the moments when to exert more confidence, when not to be hesitant. Experience teaches you how to better position yourself in getting all of your main battery involved in the action when easy to do so, when allowed. Experience helps you to understand to what targets to prioritize and have trust, in this example, that your teammates can take out some of the other ships on different parts of the map that are low, that are your team's kind of bearing down on them, if you will. Experience will teach you to, maybe I don't need to take the snapshot here. It's a sitting duck cruiser, and I can see, how's the smoke coming out. It's bugging me so much I don't even remember the name. And I even minored in history. But, which way is the ship going forward? Is it going forward? Is it going to reverse? Let me adjust my aim accordingly. Experience is the teacher for World of Warships. So if you I want to encourage you, because I'm going to move on to some other players after this with your battle, my take. I want to encourage you to keep taking time at tier 8 and let's say tier 7. I don't know if you already have some higher tier ships as well. I just know that where you're at right now, don't feel a pressure to rush to tier 9 and tier 10. If you already have tier 10 ships, or tier 9 ships, it's great. And you can test things out like asymmetric battles and that. I'm not saying don't play at all. I'm just saying in terms of the PvP meta, if you kind of refine these things at tier 8, you'll feel more confident at tier 9. You'll feel more confident at tier 10 because the pace of the battle goes so much more quickly at tier 8, tier 9, and especially tier 10 and super ship level than it does at tier 8, than it does at tier 6, tier 5. The decision making, when you go from tier 5 to tier 10 as example, like, you need to be able to be so much more quick and confident in the decisions that you're making at a higher tier than a lower tier, because lower tier, mid tier, the games go longer. It's kind of more slowly unfolding of how the points are going, how your teammates and the enemy team is taking the capture objectives. Everything's kind of happening in slow motion compared to the high tier, right? So if you can really refine your decision-making process, you can improve your experience, you can improve your confidence, improve your positioning, improve your target priority decision, improve taking your time with your shots. All those things are going to reap massive benefits as you go into the higher tiers here in World of Warships. So I hope the video is helpful for you. I'm sorry if it bothers you at all, if I was a little more nitpicky with you. But I think you'll learn a little bit more if I kind of just talk things out more clearly and just kind of not beat around the bush, if you will. But I think you're on the right trail. I think you're doing good overall. What's interesting is that most of the player base, I don't know if I should say most people just want to play the game and they don't want to improve. So that's why the average win rate of the servers is like 48%. Most players, majority of the player base is below average. There's not as many that are, as you go up higher win rates, it starts to fall off drastically more quickly. a lot of people aren't willing to take that first step of how can I get better versus my team sucks, they suck, I'm great, right? When we take some more of our own responsibility and understanding of, no, I can contribute, I can do more. Dude, I have games where I'll do 250, 300,000 damage, I still get a defeat, and I'm still like, what could have I done better? Where could have I positioned more sooner, more quickly? How could I maybe have, if I had prioritized that enemy conqueror, if we got him off the board, that would have allowed my St. Vincent to live and he'd still be alive fighting me, and I would have given us the points, yada, 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 right? So I'm still critiquing myself even when I have really good games, because I want to keep improving, right? And I think that's a great place to be as a player of any game. And I understand, like, you know, sometimes you just want to like kick back, have a beer, have a cold one, and that's it. But you're sending these videos in, and I'm assuming you want to get better, right? And I have no hard feelings against those who are just having a beer and they don't really care about run rate. Hey, to each their own. But it always starts with, I think, when we look at ourselves to say, how can I improve? How can I be a better player, as an example? So with that being said, thanks for sending these videos in. I have another one that will come up probably in a week of another guy, or gal. I think it's a guy though. And giving a Your Battle, My Take player review video. So if you liked today's video, give a thumbs up. If you didn't, give a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. Subscribe, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. Until next time, take care.